My name is Andrew McDowell. I'm a Strathclyde Police Traffic Officer, have been for a number of years. I'm also a Police Advanced Driver and a Police Advanced Driving Instructor. What I intend to do today is to provide you with some sort of guidance with regards to the level of commentary that I, as an IAM examiner, are looking for from IAM potential members. The purpose of this drive is not to terrify anybody with regards commentary, and it's certainly not going to be a full police demonstration drive that I will give. What we always remind students in police driving is that they're on a driving course and it's not a talking course. However, commentary is important because it lets your instructor and your examiner know what you're seeing, how far ahead you're seeing it, and then subsequently what you're going to do about it. I will start the demonstration drive with a resume, and thereafter I will follow with a resume of road weather and traffic conditions, and then I will commentate on what I can see in the far, middle and then near distance. And during the drive I will carry out systems of car control, definitions, observations, etc. What I'd be looking for firstly is the associate to be sitting in the upright position with the hands in the steering wheel at the 10 to 2 position. What we do firstly is we check our handbrake for tension. Taking a grip of the handbrake with the left hand, pulling in the release button, taking up any strain there might be in the handbrake, and then releasing the button, leaving the handbrake in the on position. We then check the door for security, using the hand furthest from the door, locating the door handle, pulling the door closed, pulling in and then pushing out to make sure that it is in fact secure. The reason we pull in first is to prevent an insecure door from opening into the path of another road user. We then check our seating position to ensure that we're not cramped in any way and we have good access to all hand and foot controls, sliding the hands from the steering wheel down to 6 o'clock position, up to 12 and back to 10 to 2 position to make sure that our steering movement is not restricted in any way, and also make sure that a head restraint is also properly adjusted. Then depressing the clutch fully, bringing the gear lever into the neutral position, taking a proper grip of the gear lever, which is wrapping the forefinger and thumb round the top of the gear lever, leaving the surface of it exposed, bring it into the neutral position once across the gate only, and with the clutch still depressed, starting the engine. Once the engine has fired and settled, we slowly release our foot from the clutch to ensure there's no mechanical breakdown in the linkage, which might cause the vehicle to lunge either forwards or backwards. And at this point we select minor auxiliaries required for the journey. Minor auxiliaries are, for example, a flow of air into the cabin of the vehicle at a moderate temperature directed onto the windscreen. And we line up our mirrors. The rear view mirror, we take a grip with the forefinger and thumb at each corner so that we don't smudge the glass and we do not put any extra strain on the mirror stem. And we line up the top of the mirror with the top of the rear windscreen. And make sure both our near side and offside mirrors afford us a good view down both sides of the vehicle. An instrumentation panel check now. Basically what I'm looking for a student to do is to confirm to me that all is in order with the instrumentation panel and that they do have sufficient fuel for their journey. If they have a temperature gauge in the vehicle, particularly at this time of the year, we're in March, it's a very cold morning, I'd be looking for them to report to me the temperature in the vehicle. If it's 3 degrees or below, this could affect the drive later on. We now carry out a static brake test, depressing the brake pedal for approximately 3 to 4 seconds to make sure that there is fluid in the system and that pressure is being maintained, and I'm looking for a student to confirm to me that this is the case. Windows now. If you have electrically operated windows, basically what I'm looking for the student to do is just asking me to mind my fingers in the windows and then close all windows, and once I've done so, report back to me stating windows closed. Major auxiliaries. Now major auxiliaries at this point would be, for example, dipped headlight beam, or giving the windscreen wipers or the windscreen a wash, or operating your windscreen wipers. At this moment I don't require any major auxiliaries. So it's now time to locate, fit and check the seat belt. Locating the seat belt, pull out some of the webbing, transferring it to the right hand. We then locate the buckle holder with the left hand, inserting the buckle. Once we have done so, giving it one firm tug to make sure that it is in fact located and that the webbing is not twisted in any way across our bodies. And we then ask our passengers to do likewise. And what I'd be looking for the student to do is again show a bit of awareness around the vehicle and actually check and make sure that passengers are in fact fitting their seat belts correctly. So we're now ready to move off. So checking all 3 mirrors, can confirm that it's safe to select a moving off gear of 1, and if need be, giving a signal to any persons that will be manoeuvring about or pedestrians walking about the area that we're going to be in. Again checking all 3 mirrors, we make shoulder checks. and we always check the zone of greatest danger last. So if I'm moving off to the right, it'll be a right shoulder check lastly. So firstly a deep left shoulder check, and then a deep right shoulder check. As my head and eyes come to the front, synchronising hand and foot movements to move the vehicle off smoothly. Now, on advanced driving courses, it is preferable if students commentate. The reason for this is to let me, their examiner, know what they're seeing, how far ahead they're seeing it and what they're doing about it. I'll ask them to locate their points of observation from the far distance through the middle distance and then into the nearer foreground. To lead them into commentary, there is a resume which is helpful to complete, which is as follows. Today, as all days, I will drive this car according to the system of car control, which is a way of approaching and negotiating hazards that is methodical, safe and leaves nothing to chance. To do this will require me to apply concentration and alertness in order to drive this car safely, smoothly, progressively and well. I will formulate my driving plan on what I can see, what I cannot see and the circumstances I might reasonably expect to develop. By driving my car to the system of car control, I will at all times observe, plan and anticipate to ensure maximum vehicle stability in response to all road and traffic conditions. I'd then be looking for a candidate to commentate on the vehicle he or she is driving and the road weather and traffic conditions as they exist at that time. So today I'm driving a Saab motor vehicle with a complement of one adult passenger. I'm currently travelling on a two-way undivided carriageway which is of tarmac-macadam construction, is currently dry and affords good adhesion in relation to steering, braking and accelerating. Looking outwards and upwards, the skies are blue. However, because of the cold temperatures today, there may be some ice patches on the roadway that I'll be wary of. If I do come across these, you'll hear me building them into my driving plan. Traffic, well, you can see we're stuck in a queue of traffic at the moment. We do have a number of preceding and oncoming vehicles. Well, mirror check reveals that we are being followed. You will see that I will check my mirrors every 10 to 15 seconds, as it is equally important to know what is to the rear of this vehicle as what is to the front of the vehicle. I'd then be looking for a candidate to commentate on what they can see in the far, middle and near distance. So in the far distance, looking out from 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, always using the clock face where we can to locate points of observation, far distance viewers are somewhat restricted. In the far distance I can see a range of hills and I can see that they are covered in snow. Accordingly, if this road's taking us towards those hills, we may come across snow patches, ice patches, etc. on the roadway up ahead. In the middle distance, well, not much of a middle distance view at the moment, and in the near distance the road is coming back from a left-hand bend. We have a couple of oncoming vehicles. Bus stop on the near side there, there's no passengers at that bus stop, and accordingly we're looking for the bus perhaps being up ahead. We have a number of parked motor vehicles, both near side and off side, and we have some pedestrian activity. I can see what appears to be a house under renovation, and accordingly we'll be looking out for associated vehicles, perhaps rubble on the road. In fact, here is an associated vehicle now coming towards us. We're warned of children crossing to and from school. Qualifying plate for the patrol. Is this relevant in the time and date of the week that you're doing your test? You'd like to let me know. Coming back from right-hand bend, a number of wheelie bins out, so we're going to be looking for the refuse wagon being up ahead. Making all these observation links is important throughout the drive. Checking into the driveways, both near side and off side, I can see that most people have ignored the advice of the highway code and have driven nose into their driveway so that thereafter have to reverse out onto the main road. Both junctions near side and off side are checked and clear. Looking at the middle distance view now, roads coming back from the 12 o'clock position, junctions near side and off side with pedestrian activity. I can see what appears to be a warning sign on the near side, a speed regulatory for 40 miles per hour, and we're informed that we're crossing the Forth and Clyde Canal. So this is the way I deal with the 40s. I check my mirror, I'm not being followed, my offside mirror, I'm not about to be overtaken, but with due regards to the fact that we have a house at a 10 o'clock position and the warning sign for wild animals, I'm just lightly accelerating until I check the junction out on the near side, which is now checked and clear and it's safe for me to continue, so I'm accelerating up to the 40 mile per hour speed limit. You can see that we've been drawn ever closer to the snow-covered hills, so we're looking out for the temperature to drop slightly. Currently, constantly examining my temperature gauge. The road's coming back from a left-hand bend, of which we're warned. Wet patches on the roadway, I'm looking for these to perhaps be frozen, and in fact we have a low-level warning sign for ice up ahead. Now, in the stretch of road that we're about to enter, there are a number of bends, so I'd like to discuss limit points and cornering principles on these bends. First, the national speed limits. We check our mirror, not being followed, offside mirror, not being overtaken, and briskly accelerating up to the national speed limit of 60 miles per hour. Now, one way of accurately judging the severity of a bend is by reading the limit point. Now, if you look to the 12 o'clock position, once I've cleared my windscreen, you will see where the near side and offside verges appear to meet. This is the limit point, and as we approach it, you'll see the limit point do one of three things. It's starting to move away now, which means that the bend is opening up and it's safe for us to continue. However, if the limit point with the near side and offside verges met came back towards us or remained stationary, both would indicate that the bend was tight, and as such we would require to lose speed. Now watch as I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and just early and lightly apply the brakes. As there are road cleaning operations up ahead, this perhaps is indicative of the fact that we have construction works. Taking first gear, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, there's no vehicles falling, moving out into the opposing carriageway, I have both views, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, the overtake is on for the one vehicle, and again I check my mirror, my near side mirror, returning to my own side of the road. I can see the finger post sign in the offside indicating that there is a junction on the near side, which I have checked and it is clear. Double bend, bearing in mind that the second feature of the bend is often more severe than the first, so I would carry out a cornering principle for the second. So looking through the hedgerows, I can see one oncoming heavy goods vehicle. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, there is the snow and the slush on the roadway as I anticipated. Slowly around this bend. In fact, because we have the slow-moving learner vehicle up ahead, we're not going to be able to implement a cornering principle, because limit point analysis and cornering principles give us the safest, fastest speed at which to negotiate a bend. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, moving out into the opposing carriageway for a look. One oncoming vehicle precluding the overtake. I check my mirror, my near side mirror. There's roadworks cones there on the near side verge, which indicate that we may have roadworks up ahead. Again, it's a very dirty road surface, continually having to clean my windscreen. Again, I check my mirror, my offside mirror. Looking, I can see at 12 o'clock position, the heavy goods vehicles moving, and the white van at 2 o'clock indicating a crossflow of traffic. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, moving out into the opposing carriageway for a look. I have both views. The overtake is on for the one heavy goods vehicle. Watching the potholes on my side of the road, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and I move back to my side of the road. Junctions left and right are checked and clear. I'm looking out for associated heavy goods vehicles up ahead because of the landside fill site at the 12 o'clock position. Perhaps this is where this vehicle's come from. I'm turning right, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror, giving a signal. My position is the offside lane. I have my gap after the vehicles from the near side, so my gear is 1. I check all 3 mirrors, and a light degree of acceleration takes me onto my new roadway. Yet again, you can see at 12 o'clock position, the snow-covered hills approaching, and if you look to 2 o'clock, you will see a crossflow of traffic in the far distance. You can just see an articulated vehicle pulling out of sight. Making eye contact with the driver, we're warned of pedestrians on the roadway and the road narrowing on both sides. Because of that crossflow of traffic at 2 o'clock in the far distance, I'm going to be looking for us coming up to a junction up ahead. Now looking, I can see a house at the 10 o'clock position rather. There will be a junction to service that house, which is checked and clear. Oncoming vehicles at the 12 o'clock position, precluding any overtake, and a mirror check reveals that I am not being followed at present. Speedometer check reveals a speed of 40 miles per hour. Junctions both near side and offside are checked and clear. The road's coming back from a left-hand bend, and you can see the black and white posts on the offside, which are hazard warning posts, and we're warned of a series of bends. Double white line system now in operation, and the junction on the right is checked and clear. Mirror check reveals still not being followed. Follow warning sign for a right-hand bend. Perhaps roadworks up ahead. There's gentlemen with fluorescent yellow jackets. Perhaps also police officers, might be speed check areas up ahead. Still being drawn closer to the snow-covered hills. Looking down to the 10 o'clock position, I can see a bus approaching what appears to be a roundabout. Cluster of street lights indicate that it is in fact a roundabout, along with the chevron boards up ahead. Looking at the earliest opportunity for a gap, we can now see the advanced direction sign. And I'm taking this opportunity to look right out to the 3 and 2 o'clock positions for my gap. I'm looking right out, there's no incoming vehicles as far as I can see to the 3 o'clock position, but my gap is dictated by these slower moving preceding vehicles. Still my gap is there, so my speed is correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, moving on to my dedicated lane, junction before mine, mirror near side mirror, giving a left turn signal, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the roundabout. Accelerating briskly, as possibly where I can up to the speed limit. I'm looking to the 10 o'clock position. I can see a pocket of habitation. Appears to be quite substantial, so we're looking for a step down in the speed limits up ahead. We're warned of a junction first to the offside. Both near side and offside junctions are checked and clear. I check my mirror, my offside mirror. I'm noting that the Volkswagen Golf up ahead is somewhat impatient, somewhat erratic also, has now pulled off my road. However, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, I'm re-accelerating, and again taking this opportunity to clean the windscreen. Looking now for some overtaking opportunity up ahead. We have one works vehicle with an amber beacon. This perhaps might turn off our road into a work site, and I can see we've been drawn ever closer to the area of habitation. In fact, the information sign lets us know we're entering the area of Milngavie. There is a house through the trees at the 9 o'clock position there. In fact, we're warned of the junction that will undoubtedly service that house, and I'm looking into it at the moment. All the way back it is checked and clear. As anticipated, we have a step down in the speed limit, so I'm going to use my acceleration sense, which is the ability to vary vehicle speed in response to changing road and traffic conditions, to bring my vehicle into the 30 mph speed limit at 30 mph where possible on the button. I'm looking at the large premises to the 10 o'clock position. There will be a junction to service that premises, which I have located, and it is clear. Looking through the fence, appears to be some sort of golf course to the offside. Yep, there's a possibility we could have low-flying golf balls striking vehicles swerving onto our side of the roadway to avoid them. Pocket of habitation at the 2 o'clock position, undoubtedly serviced by this junction, of which we are warned, and a mirror check reveals that I'm not being followed. The vehicle up ahead is braking. Perhaps there could be queuing traffic up ahead, or there might be some form of obstruction. I'm looking across the right-hand bend and I can see the wall on the offside. It's a kept wall, indicative of kept ground, so there may be a junction on the offside through this wall. Checking the junction on the near side servicing the premises, it is checked and clear. The red sign warning us of new phasing up ahead. Bearing in mind on the roadway, red traditionally means danger. So I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position is central, early and lightly on the brakes, and you can see I'm going to stop a distance of no less than 6 to 8 feet from the vehicle in front, and a good rule of thumb in judging this distance is to be able to see the rear tyres of the vehicle in front. I apply the handbrake and bring the gear lever into neutral. I'm going to be travelling straight on here. I can see there is a height restriction to the near side. That's off my roadway, and we'll be looking for some indication of the opposing phasing of the traffic lights, when our phasing might be. We're just going to have to judge this. I take first gear, I check all 3 mirrors, and I'm going to move the speed phase of the system of car control up to the junction. My speed is now correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the traffic lights. Immediately noting the petrol service station to the near side. Petrol service stations are always a source of potential danger, looking for vehicles manoeuvring in and out, and possibly diesel and petrol spillages on the roadway. Still being drawn ever closer to the range of hills, looking for a drop down in the temperature and ice patches on the roadway. Roads coming back from a right-hand bend with a set of traffic lights that are at red. I anticipate they may change to green by the time we get there. And I check my mirror, my offside mirror. My position is the offside, giving this vehicle at least a door width distance as we pass. As anticipated, the lights have changed. They may change back. Junction near side is checked and clear. So I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position is central. My speed is correct. My gear is 2. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the junction. Again, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, slowing the speed of the vehicle, presenting my vehicle boldly but not aggressively towards oncoming vehicles. I'm letting them see the amount of width of the road that I require, still trying to give these vehicles at least a door width wherever I possibly can. Bearing in mind that the roadcraft manual tells us the narrower the gap, the slower the speed. The road's now coming back from the right-hand bend. Bus stop there with no pedestrians at it. The bus might be up ahead. And we have a post box in operation. Particularly in the rural area, we were looking for post office vehicles coming onto our side of the roadway to pick up the mail. And the roads continue to go back from a right-hand bend. Double white line system in operation, and a mirror check reveals that I am now being followed. Looking into these driveways and junctions, both near side and off side, they are clear. Again, bearing in mind, looking for vehicles reversing onto the roadway. Parked vehicle there on the near side, and I can see that the road is coming back from a left-hand bend. We can see that the habitation is thinning out now, and accordingly we'll be looking out for some step up in the speed limit, perhaps the national speed limit round this next left-hand bend. Again, junctions offside and near side are checked and clear. We can see we have roadworks cones on the near side footpath, and accordingly we'll be looking out for roadworks operatives, perhaps new tar patches, road surfaces, etc. up ahead. You can see that we're coming out of the built-up area, still looking for the increase in the speed limit, but at the moment it's still 30 miles per hour. Bearing in mind that 30 miles per hour is the maximum permissible speed for an area, which is not necessarily the same thing as the maximum safe speed. This is dictated by the conditions that exist at the time. The junction on the offside is checked and clear, still 30 mile per hour speed limit enforced, pedestrian activity on the near side footpath. Now you can see that the habitation is now thinned out, but we still have footpaths on the near side and offside. Footpaths in the open road indicate that two built up areas are linked, and accordingly we will be looking out for a further built up area up ahead. Remember what I said about the walls? You can see the kept wall both near side and offside. We will be looking out for junctions through these walls to access premises. Now you can see the double white line system in the centre of the roadway up ahead. In fact, it's hazard warning lines are now coming into the 40 mph speed limit. I check my mirror, I'm being followed, offside mirror, not being overtaken, firming up on the speed limit to 40 mph where it is safe to do so. Again, both throwback arrows indicating the double white line system. Where the line nearest us is solid, we may not cross it unless we need to enter a side road or an adjoining premises. We may cross it, however, to pass a stationary vehicle or to overtake a slow-moving vehicle such as a pedal cycle, a horse or a road maintenance vehicle moving at 10 mph or less. Looking across the left-hand bend at the 9 o'clock position, we have premises, so will be a junction for that premises, and I can see the national speed limit as we come round this left-hand bend. So I check my mirror, I am being followed, offside mirror, I'm not about to be overtaken. The level of speed that I'll accelerate to will be dictated by the up-and-coming bends. I'm looking across the right-hand bend. We have a number of oncoming vehicles, and I can see it appears to be a warning sign for a series of bends. In fact, we have an advisory speed limit of 30 mph, a maximum speed limit. So as we're advanced drivers, we will decelerate to this maximum speed limit. Pedestrian there, perhaps waiting for a bus or a lift, and the junction is clear, of which we are warned. Further wheelie bins in operation there on the offside, looking still for the refuse wagon perhaps to be up ahead. Now you can see how badly rutted the road surface is. We're warned of a junction to the near side, the junction that I anticipated earlier. I'm looking to locate this, I have now done so, it is clear. Further double white line system still in operation, mirror check reveals I am being followed. We appear to be coming out of the series of bends that were warned about earlier, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and just lightly firming up on the acceleration with due regards to the series of bends. Watch as I come across around this right-hand bend, my right hand slides up, gently pulls on the steering, and the left hand slides up, pulls off for the old bend, and continues to pull the steering on for the new bend. Again, right hand slides up, pulls the steering on for this right-hand bend, and then on the apex of the bend, the left hand slides up and pulls the steering off. I check my mirror, my offside mirror. Light degree of acceleration, bearing in mind we're coming up to a junction on the near side, which I have checked all the way back. It is checked and clear. Mirror check reveals I'm still being followed. Watching for the parked vehicle on the near side, looking into that, I located the driver in the driver's seat. Doesn't appear to be moving off, safe as to continue. Still the snow-capped hills up ahead. Looking out for the temperature to drop, I can see my temperature gauge is now 4 degrees centigrade. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, accelerating up to the speed limit of 60 mph. Now remember, bearing in mind what I said about the limit point, look where the near side and offside verges appear to meet. So I check my mirror. My position is central, breaking down the speed. The limit point is now moving, my speed's correct, my gear is 3, and I maintain a constant speed to negotiate the bend. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, again a light degree of acceleration. We can see we're warned of a double bend, first to the right and then to the left, and a warning sign advising us to reduce speed now. So early and lightly on the brakes till I have assessed the bend, bearing in mind the second feature of a double bend is often more severe than the first, so we will be overcautious. Looking to locate, I have located the second feature of the bend. We would not carry out a cornering principle because we have a junction on the offside which is checked and clear. Warned of works traffic, perhaps there might be heavy goods vehicles on the roadway. Looking across the right-hand bend, still a double white line system in operation. Mirror check reveals they are still being followed. There's a pedestrian on the footpath there, again still waiting perhaps for a bus or perhaps to be picked up by another vehicle. And looking across the right-hand bend, trying to get some indication of where a road is going. Looking at the 9 o'clock position through 12 and out to 3 o'clock position, we're warned of a series of bends for 600 yards, bold, slow on the roadway, bearing in mind the more paint the more danger. Junction left is checked and clear, and I'm looking across this series of bends. Chevron boards in operation, again bearing in mind the rule of the road, the more chevrons in a bend, the more severe. You can see how tight this bend is, so I'm carrying out a system of car control. I check my mirror, my offside mirror. It's really tight, so my speed is correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and just decelerating around this left-hand bend. A fuller right-hand bend up ahead, more chevron boards in operation. Again, linking steering, accelerating, right hand slides up, gently pulling on the steering, left hand slides up, gently pulling off the steering. Mirror check reveals that I'm still being followed. Habitation there, so I'm anticipating a step down in the speed limit. Right hand again sliding up, gently pulling on the steering through the left hand. left hand sliding up, pulling off. There is 30, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror, my position is central, my speed's already 30 miles per hour, just under 30 miles per hour, coming into the area of Strathblane. We're informed of a junction up ahead. I'm going to be taking that junction. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, I give a right turn signal, and I position my vehicle centrally. My speed is now correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and a light degree of acceleration, not cutting the corner, takes me into my new roadway. Immediately checking my mirror, offside mirror, I'm moving out again to pass these vehicles, giving them at least a door width distance. We have what appear to be works vehicles on the near side there, and we have a national speed limit. So I check my mirror, I am being followed some distance behind. My offside mirror, I'm not about to be overtaken, as the front of the vehicle comes abreast of the signs, firming up on the speed 2. A maximum speed limit of 60 miles per hour on the open roadway. Junction on the left is checked and clear. Now looking across the right hand bend, trying to get some indication of where the road's going. Junction again checked and clear. Looking into the fields to see if there's any farm premises. There will be junctions to service farm premises, and I can see at 10 o'clock position the White House, there will be a junction to service it. So I check my mirror, my offside mirror, we're warned of roadwork some distance up ahead. Looking into the junction for this premises, and indeed there's temporary traffic lights in operation up ahead, so I'm continuing to slow the speed of the vehicle. The junction is checked and clear. Low level warning sign advising us that our road narrows on the offside 200 yards ahead. Looking to locate these roadworks at the earliest opportunity. I have now done so. Flashing amber light in operation, bearing in mind the highway code advises to drive carefully when you see a flashing amber light, as it warns of a slow moving vehicle such as a road gritter, a tractor or a vehicle that has broken down. Early and lightly on the brakes, applying the handbrake not against the ratchet, proper grip of the gear lever, giving it into neutral. Looking across the bend, trying to get an indication of when our phasing of the traffic lights might be. And there may be further roadworks up ahead. I can see the cherry picker. They appear to be working on telegraph poles, bearing in mind that vehicles such as British Telecom tend to operate in pairs, and accordingly there may be a second vehicle up ahead. There's no oncoming vehicles, it's automatic traffic lights, are not manually operated, so I'm just going to have to anticipate when my turn in the phasing might be. But I'm taking this opportunity to scan out 9 o'clock, 12, 3 o'clock position, trying to see where my road's going and associated hazards. I can see through the trees my roadway coming back from a 2 o'clock position through a series of bends and in the far distance. There are a number of farm premises and fields, and accordingly there will be junctions to service these farm premises. In the open road we should be looking out for agricultural hazards such as slow moving vehicles, mud deposits, etc. I take first gear, check all 3 mirrors and apply a light degree of acceleration. Taking an early second gear and just maintaining this low speed while I'm through the roadworks. Watching out for the operatives. Maintaining this low speed. I don't know how long this coned off area will go on for, bearing in mind there may be a slower moving vehicle coming round the corner that just missed the phasing. They seem to go on for quite some distance, and at this point you can see the shadowed areas on the roadway given by the trees. We should always at this time of the year be looking out for microclimates, pockets of roadway that have not thawed out long after the surrounding road surface has, which is basked in the sun. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and firm up the speed as we come out with the roadworks area. You can see the Land Rover vehicle coming to the junction, which indicates there will be one up ahead. So I'm just maintaining this low speed until I have located the junction, which I have now done. We're warned of cattle, perhaps on the roadway up ahead. Junction on the near side is checked and clear. Looking for eye contact with the farmer, which I have now got, and it is safe for me to continue. This road surface is badly rutted up ahead. We're warned of a bend to the left and a junction on the near side, which is checked and clear. Coming round the left-hand bend, again you can see we've been drawn ever closer to the range of hills and a series of bends for 3/4 of a mile. Again, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and just lightly firming up on the acceleration with due regard to the poor rutted road surface and the standing water on the roadway. We're warned of blind summits up ahead, and I can see there is a junction to the near side servicing that premises, which I'm looking into, and it is checked and clear. Looking right out to the 3 o'clock position, we have a number of premises out there. There will be junctions to service them, and we're warned of a bend to the right. Looking at the wall, there might be a junction through this wall, servicing premises yet again, and I'll be looking out for perhaps forestry commission vehicles working in the wooded area to the near side. Bold slow in the roadway, again the more paint the more danger. Mirror check reveals I am not being followed at present, and we have further standing water on the roadway. In fact the low level sign there is for flood. Just taking this opportunity to clear the windscreen yet again, further dirty road surface. And the road is now coming back to my left-hand bend. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, again taking up a position on the roadway to avoid the standing water. You can see we have one oncoming vehicle across the right-hand bend, of which we are warned. Junction on the left is checked and clear. Right hand sliding up, gently pulling on the steering. Left hand sliding up, gently pulling off the steering. One oncoming vehicle. Again, look where the near side and offside hedges appear to meet. This is the limit point. You can see they're beginning to move away, so my speed would be correct, my gear 3. I maintain a constant speed to negotiate the bend. Bowl slow on the roadway. 12 o'clock position, I can see a house just there disappearing out of sight. There will be a junction to service that house. Mirror check reveals not being followed at present. Again, left hand pulling on the steering, junctions checked and clear. Right hand pulling off for the old bend, on for the new bend. Again, left hand off for the old bend and on for the new bend. I can see further farm premises at the 10 o'clock and 12 o'clock positions. Both slow on the roadway, and the road is coming back from a left hand bend, so I check my mirror. My offside mirror, my position is central and continue to decelerate. I can see my bend's already opening up, my speed's correct, my gear is 3, I maintain a constant speed to negotiate the bend. We have 30 mph speed limit in operation, cattle in the field to the near side, junctions are checked and clear, and I'm going to use my braking sense, which is the ability to appreciate a situation correctly and to apply the brakes in a timely and gradual manner, other than an emergency, to stop or reduce the speed of the vehicle, where this cannot be achieved by deceleration and the time and distance available to the driver to come into the 30 mph speed limit at 30 mph and into the area of Haw Head at no more or less than 30 mph where it is safe to do so. You can see in the centre of the roadway the white lines, where the lines lengthen and the gaps shorten. This means that there is a hazard ahead. Do not cross or straddle it unless you can see it is safe to do so, and you need to do so to overtake or to enter an adjoining premises or side road. The junction on the left is checked and clear. Trying to make eye contact with the bus driver, he's out and away. Nope, yeah, it has now seen us, so it's safe for me to continue, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and firming up in the acceleration as we come through the national speed limit. Looking out to 9 o'clock position, I can see it appears to be a heavy goods vehicle on the road in the hill. Accordingly, there might be a junction up ahead linking my road with that road. Looking across the left-hand bend, I can see what appear to be street lights in operation. Where street lights are on during the day, this is usually indicative of some form of roadworks. Indeed, there might be a tower wagon working on the lights. I'm continuing to look across this left-hand bend. We have a junction on the offside, which is now checked and clear, and we have further speed regulatories for the 30 mph speed limit, indicating that we're coming into a built-up area. So I check my mirror, my offside mirror, just decelerating, using the hill as a natural brake to come into the 30 mph speed limit at 30 mph. Trying to again locate this road to the near side on the hill, looking for that vehicle that I saw earlier. It might reach the junction at the same time that we do, and we're looking for junctions near side and offside. They are checked and clear. It's safe for us to continue. A mirror check reveals that I'm not being followed to the rear. Looking into the driveways, again looking for motorists reversing out onto the roadway, and I can see pedestrian activity on the near side appears to be quite settled and affording us no danger. We're warned of a left-hand bend up ahead, bearing in mind we are not normally warned of bends in the built-up area, so it might be quite severe. In fact, I can see it appears to be a junction, and we are warned of a new roundabout up ahead. I'm going to be taking the 11 o'clock exit, so I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position will be the near side lane. My speed's correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me onto my new road. I can see what appears to be a church spire at the 12 o'clock position. A church spire is usually indicative of the town centre, and we're warned of elderly pedestrians in the roadway. A brown finger post sign there, that's a tourist information sign, informs the junction of the offside, of which is checked and clear. Upon to the near side, there might be a children's play area up ahead. I'm looking across the right-hand bend. I check my mirror, my offside mirror. There is the junction that I anticipated earlier. We're warned of children crossing to and from school. And look at how I use the windows. I can see the reflection of the windows of the shop on the near side, indicating oncoming vehicles. I'm making eye contact with the bus driver. Road speed and revs have been dropped and taking a more appropriate gear of 2. Again, mirror, offside mirror, moving out to pass this vehicle at least a door width distance. Present my vehicle boldly but not aggressively. I can see what appears to be a Twelican pedestrian crossing on the offside, parked vehicles on the near side. Looking, check the crossing from left to right, right to left. The crossing is checked and clear, as is the garage forecourt. Mirror check reveals I am now being followed, and the road coming back from a right-hand bend appears to be construction work on the near side. Near side and offside junctions are checked and clear. Considerable amount of pedestrian activity. No pedestrians at the bus stop, so I'm looking for our bus being up ahead. Slow-moving goods vehicle up ahead may hinder our progress if we go back out onto the open roadway. Road's coming back from a left-hand bend. Number of parked vehicles. Look at the way we look through windscreen and under axle for these vehicles on the near side, looking for perhaps that little pair of feet that might give us that split second extra to react. That could literally be the difference between life and death. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, again moving out to give these vehicles at least a door width distance. And again, the habitation appears to be thinning out, so I'm looking for a step up in the speed limit. Junctions near side and offside are checked and clear. I can see refuse sacks on the offside, appear to be recycling sacks, so I'll be looking out for the recycling wagon up ahead. The junction on the near side again is checked and clear, and an advanced direction sign warning of a junction to the offside. That is our junction, and we're warned of children crossing to and from school. Junction on the near side is checked and clear. Pedestrians in the bus stop. I check my mirror, I've located my junction, my offside mirror, giving a right turn signal, and I'm positioning my vehicle centrally because of the oncoming vehicles. Early and lightly on the brakes, braking down the speed of the vehicle and looking into the junction which I'm turning. Apply the handbrake, taking first gear in anticipation. My gear is 1, I check all 3 mirrors and apply a light degree of acceleration to take me into my new road. Immediately noting the roadworks, the lights have just turned to red, they may turn back to green. One oncoming vehicle at present. I check my mirror, my near side mirror, my position is central, and just early and lightly braking down the speed of the vehicle. Giving the vehicle sufficient distance to pass. The sign for when red light shows wait here, I would say it's perhaps just a wee bit too close to the lights. So I'm holding back, waiting for my turn the lights. I can see we're warned of a series of bend for 1.5 miles. My gear is 1, I check all 3 mirrors and apply a light degree of acceleration. Moving my speed phase up and into the roadworks area. Maintaining this low speed, watching the operatives on the offside. My speed is correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the roadworks area through the national speed limit area. I can see at the 2 o'clock position the roadway is coming back from a right-hand bend, warned that the roadworks have now ended. I can see an area of habitation at the 10 o'clock position, junctions checked and clear. Bold slow on the roadway, bearing in mind the more paint the more danger. Kerb shy lines in operation, that's a solid white line down both near side and offside in the roadway. This is the road engineer's way of letting us know the amount of available road width. Accelerating for half the distance I can see to be clear, which is a dip in the road. Prior to that point, I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and I'm decelerating for this zone of invisibility. In fact, a series of bends up ahead, of which I am warned, and yet another chevron board. So I check my mirror, my offside mirror, continue to decelerate. It's a double bend, bearing in mind second feature often more severe than the first, so I'm being overcautious in the first feature of the bend. Farm premises the near side that I spotted earlier, junctions are checked and clear. There's mud deposits on the roadway, I'm watching out for that. Located the second feature of the bend, again it is quite severe. Linking steering and accelerating around this bend. Right hand slides up, pulling off the steering. I'm now look at the view that I have, the 2 o'clock position. I can see what appears to be quite a substantial built-up area. Church spires, etc. So it's obviously going to be quite a large area. There will be accordingly a speed limit for this area and a sharp increase in pedestrian and vehicular activity. Using this opportunity to make a bit of progress. Again, look where the near side and offside verges appear to meet. You can see they're parting already. Premises on the near side though, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror, checking the junction on the near side, it is checked and clear. Looking across the right hand bend, no oncoming vehicles, junction on the near side is checked and clear. And looking at 10 o'clock, you can see the high-rise flats in the far distance, indicative of a substantial built-up area, and accordingly there will be speed limits in operation and a whole new set of road hazards up ahead. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, coming out for a look. I have both views, the overtake is on for one vehicle. I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and returning to my own side of the roadway. Looking across the left-hand bend, again a kept wall on the offside. There will be a junction or perhaps an exit road. The one on the left is checked and clear. Mirror check reveals I'm not being followed at present. Series of bends up ahead. Look at the line of the telegraph poles giving us the line of the road. 2 oncoming vehicles, no preceding vehicles at present. Looking into the field, there appears to be a number of seagulls in the field, and accordingly I'll be looking out for a landfill site area or a similar type area up ahead and associated vehicles travelling to and from it. Looking at the line of the trees, the road's coming back from a left-hand bend. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, my position is central, and again I'm going to use my braking sense to bring me into this built-up area at no more than 30 miles per hour where it is safe to do so. Warned of a concealed entrance on the near side, continue to break down my speed. This junction is checked and clear. Have now located the 30s. Mirror check reveals I'm not being followed. We have pedestrian activity on the near side there. Watching for the dog, it does not appear to be on a lead. It might dart out in front of us. So I just check my mirror, my offside mirror, taking up an offside position. Mirror, near side mirror, returning to a central position. Bold, slow in the roadway up ahead. Number of vehicles both on the offside, looking through windscreen and under axle of these vehicles. Junctions are checked and clear. Again, looking at driveways, near side and offside, watching for vehicles reversing out into the main road. Mirror check reveals I'm being followed some distance behind. We're warned of children crossing to and from school. Pedestrian activity in the offside. And look how severe this bend is. It appears to be a T-junction. In fact, no, it is a bend up ahead, so I check my mirror, my offside mirror. My position is dictated by these parked motor vehicles, pedestrians on the near side. My speed is correct, my gear is 2. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me around that severe bend. Again, mirror, offside mirror, maintaining a second gear for this tight situation, watching for people walking out behind these vehicles, elderly pedestrian on the roadway there. You can see I'm going to maintain this offside position, gives me a better view as to what's happening in the near side. I now check my mirror, my near side mirror, returning to my own side of the roadway, looking through these parked motor vehicles. Pedestrian activity there, coming round this left-hand bend. We're warned of roadworks up ahead. Junction on the offside is checked and clear, and again further temporary traffic lights. So I check my mirror, my offside mirror. My position is dictated by this parked motor vehicle, early and lightly applying the brakes. In fact, I'm going to come to a halt prior to this junction. This is an example of the type of awareness that I'd be looking for advanced motorists. Applying the handbrake, gear lever into neutral. I wouldn't be looking for them to go ahead and park on the junction here, blocking any exit that vehicles might have. I'd be looking for them to stop prior to it. Again, looking for some indication of when our phasing in the traffic lights may be. Not being distracted by what is going on at the roundabout, and I'm going to be taking the 11 o'clock exit towards Bishopbriggs, Kirkintilloch in Glasgow on the A807. Mirror check reveals I have a number of vehicles now queuing behind me, and an instrumentation panel check reveals that all is in order and I still have sufficient fuel for my journey. Temperature check reveals a temperature of 6 degrees. The lights have now changed, so taking first gear, checking all 3 mirrors. Apply a light degree of acceleration to take me up and into the roadworks area. Now taking second gear. See the remote roundabout is still in operation, so I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position is dictated by these roadworks. Giving a left turn signal, speed's correct, my gear is 2. I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the roadworks area. Still a 30 mph speed limit. Look at the 2 o'clock position, I can see a crossflow of traffic. For the Nationals, I check my mirror, I am being followed, offside mirror, not being overtaken, firming up in acceleration as we come up through the national speed limit signs. Roads coming back from a right-hand bend. I will not implement a cornering principle for this right-hand bend because of the preceding vehicles of which I'm making ground. There will be junctions on the near side to service that premises, which I have already located. The driveway appears to be clear. And as I located a crossflow of traffic in the far distance earlier, I'm going to be anticipating a junction perhaps being up ahead. There appears to be silage on the roadway, so I'm looking for horses perhaps, or agricultural vehicles slow moving round this left-hand bend. Roadway is very rutted. While being aware of passenger comfort, vehicle sympathy, and the fact that my cameraman's bobbing up and down in the back seat of the vehicle, at this roundabout of which I anticipated, I'm going to be going straight ahead. So I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position will be the near side lane, early and lightly on the brakes, stopping no less than 6 to 8 feet from the vehicle in front. Applying the handbrake, my gear is 1, checking all 3 mirrors. Apply a light degree of acceleration, taking second gear to take me up to the junction. I don't have my gap at present, so bringing the vehicle smoothly to a halt. Again, applying the handbrake. Taking first gear anticipation. My gap is after the Renault motor vehicle. I check all 3 mirrors, and a light degree of acceleration takes me onto the rim of the roundabout. Signalling left, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me away from that roundabout, up to 30 miles per hour. Again, at the 12 o'clock position, you can see a cross flow of traffic. There has to be a junction around this right-hand bend. Mirror check reveals I am not being followed at present. Further standing water on the roadway, oncoming pedal cyclist. There may be more of them. Pedal cyclists, especially a professional one like him, often ride in packs. I check my mirror, my offside mirror. I'm giving a right turn signal for vehicles on the main carriageway, positioning my vehicle centrally because of the tight turn in the junction. Applying the handbrake, I don't have my gap at present. No vehicle towards the offside, a number of vehicles coming in from the near side. Looking at where my road's going, still no vehicles. In fact, oncoming vehicles taking neutral gear. In fact, I now have my gap, I check all three mirrors, and a light degree of acceleration takes me onto my new roadway, taking second gear. And a brisk degree of acceleration to take me up to the maximum speed limit of 60 miles per hour, taking an early third gear. I can see what appears to be a cemetery to the offside. There are junctions located for it. Bearing in mind that cemeteries are usually located in the outskirts of built-up areas, so we're going to be looking for one up ahead, and indeed the step down in the speed limit and the associated hazards. We're going to the 12 o'clock exit. I check my mirror, my near side mirror. My position is in near side lane. My speed is correct, my gear is 2. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, onto the rim of the roundabout at a junction before mine. Mirror, near side mirror, a light degree of acceleration takes me onto a second roundabout at which I'll be taking the 10 o'clock exit. So I check my mirror, my near side mirror, giving a left turn signal for attendant traffic. My position is in near side lane. My speed is correct, my gear is 2, I check my mirror, my near side mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me into the 40 mile per hour speed limit of which I anticipated earlier. The petrol station on the near side is checked and clear, no petrol deposits on the roadway. And I'm looking at a 12 o'clock position. We appear to be coming into a heavily populated area. Bearing in mind that speed limits such as 50 and 40 mile per hour speed limits do not usually last for long, I'll be looking for a further step down the speed limit. I check my mirror, my offside mirror, positions the offside lane. My speed's correct, my gear is 2, mirror, near side mirror, a light degree of acceleration takes me away from the junction. No pedestrians at the bus stop up ahead. There is the bus in front of us, and look at the way we actually look into the bus to look for passengers standing up, walking to the front of the bus. This will indicate that the bus is about to stop long before we get a signal or any indication of a bus stop up ahead. Queuing traffic, it looks like traffic lights up ahead, the bus is now stopping. So I check my mirror, my near side mirror, my position is to the near side, and I'm going to be turning left at these traffic lights up ahead, early and lightly on the brakes, watching for the elderly pedestrian about to cross in front of my vehicle, and bringing my vehicle smoothly to a halt, again no less than 6 to 8 feet in front of this to the rear of this silver vehicle, bringing the gear lever into neutral. I can see what appears to be a supermarket premises to the near side. There's a pedestrian phasing in operation. I take first gear, check all 3 mirrors, and a light degree of acceleration takes me towards the hazard, taking an early second gear. The lights may change before I reach them, but I check my mirror, my near side mirror, I give a left turn signal, and I position my vehicle in the near side lane. As anticipated, their lights have changed, early and lightly on the foot brake, bringing my vehicle smoothly to a halt, applying the handbrake not against the ratchet, proper grip of the gear lever into neutral. I'm now looking into the car parking area that I'm going to be entering, looking already for a suitable car parking space that I'll be reversing into, using up only one car parking area. Looking out for associated hazards. Supermarket car parks are notoriously bad for potholes, etc. I'm not wanting to damage the wheel, tyres and suspension of my vehicle. Mirror check reveals a number of queuing vehicles. I'm looking for the phasing and the traffic lights up ahead. They've now gone to red for the opposing phasing, so I take first gear in anticipation. I check all 3 mirrors, and a light degree of acceleration takes me into my new road. Watching for the gentleman with the fluorescent jacket moving in and about, and I'm going to be turning left here. I check my mirror, my near side mirror, a left turn signal. My speed's correct, my gear is 2, mirror, near side mirror, and a light degree of acceleration takes me into the roadway. Looking for a suitable parking area to reverse into, carrying as much of my steering manoeuvre out in the forward direction as I possibly can, so as all I have to do is reverse into a parking area. I bring the vehicle smoothly to a halt, steering straight, apply the handbrake, gear lever into neutral. Checking all 3 mirrors, I can confirm it's safe to select a reverse gear. Deep left shoulder check and deep right shoulder check, and you will now see that I look back to go back and I use my mirrors only to assist me. I'm going to be taking up one parking space and one parking space only. Bring my vehicle smoothly to a halt. I apply the handbrake and bring the gear lever into neutral. I'm now going to carry out a stopping drill. I remove my feet from the pedals and I switch off all auxiliaries that I've had on during the drive. I do this in the reverse order. So major auxiliaries, for example headlights or windscreen wipers, we would switch off first. We would then switch off any minor auxiliaries that we had on during the drive. And we would thereafter switch off the engine. Checking all three mirrors, I can now confirm it's safe to select a suitable parking gear. Because it's a Saab motor vehicle, I can only select a reverse gear. And I can confirm it's safe for me and all my passengers to release and stow their seat belts, taking care that we don't strike the door glass or damage the door pillar, and we'll leave the seat belt neat and tidy for the next person using the vehicle. We now carry out a deep left shoulder check and a deep right shoulder check. I can confirm that it is now safe for me to leave this vehicle and would ask my passengers to do likewise before leaving the vehicle.